Hi, I'm Gabriel, and this is Black Forest Comics Weekly Review, episode I don't know, and I'm not going to tell you anymore because we're past 20, so I feel we've passed the limit of having to tell you what episode it is. It should say it on the thing, so you'll find out like that. Have you missed me? I've missed you. I've missed you like Thomas Wayne missed taking the bullet for Bruce Wayne in Earth 2. But we're moving on now, so we're going to talk about comics, the news, and comics that are coming up next week. So let's get started with this past week's comics. First up, Sam Wilson, Captain America, issue number 6. Now this issue finds Sam Wilson as still the werewolf Captain America, which is pretty amazing, and it finds him along with the Hispanic guy whose name I can't remember right now as the Falcon. Now I'm going to spoil it for you because you know this show is full of spoilers if you haven't seen it before. Very last panel, we have our new Falcon. That's right. He not only stole Sam Wilson's bird, but he stole his old persona. So now we have a new Falcon, which is pretty cool. We need a more Hispanic presence in the comics. Next up, speaking of Hispanic presence, how about Spider-Man Miles Morales issue number 1. Now, I don't know if you've up to date with all the current Spider-Man stuff was going on after Spider-Verse and all that other Spider nonsense. It was a lot of Spider stuff. Anywho, now after our Secret Wars event, we have a number of the Spider people stuck in our current universe. Miles Morales, being from the 0161, is now in Earth 616, which is our real Earth, if that makes any sense. And this comic, I feel sorry for the dude. He's a teenager, he's in high school, but he just has a lot of things just going wrong for him. As a parent, I just want to hug the poor kid. I feel so bad for him. But in the very end, though, he manages to take out... I'm going to show you here because I think it's a pretty awesome little deal. And I can't find it. Anyway, he fights Blackheart, Mephisto's son, and he manages to take him out. So yeah, he takes out Blackheart, who managed to take out the other Avengers, the all-new Avengers. Blackheart took out all the Avengers. There's Miles Morales standing there with Captain America's shield, and Spider-Man comes up. Our original Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is like, "What have you done?" looking at all the Avengers knocked out everywhere, not knowing what's going on. So it's a really cool comic. Poor kid has a lot of stuff going on for him. If you see Miles Morales walking around, give him a hug. All right? Next up, our kids comic, I Mage number 1 from Action Lab Comics. If you've been watching any other shows, you know I'm real big into fantasy and D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, role-playing type stuff. This is exactly what that is. He's from the future or from a different world. We haven't quite figured it out yet. We haven't gotten that far along. It's only issue number 1. Anyway, this boy gets stuck on this world where there's a bunch of mages. And he's got all these electronics, and so they think, oh, he's a mage too. He's got all this stuff, and he's got a golem, and it's a robot that protects him. And so they're trying to figure out who this guy is, and we meet a female protagonist, the male protagonist, and we have the older father-like figure to the female, and that's the comic in a nutshell. It's good if you have kids and you want them to read something that's really compelling and really gets them thinking. Pick them up, I Mage. It's a good read. Next up, Deja Torres number 1. I know it's not a kid's comic, but it's got a kid's cover because I kind of had the Miles Morales, Scotty Young cover, so I'm just going along with the kid covers here. It's not a kid comic though. If you read any of the Red Sonja stuff or Vampirella, any of the stuff from Dynamite, she was in the Swords of Sorrow series, and so she has her own comic that she's going off of now. She's the wife of the King of Mars, the guy that made the movie, he went to Mars, that guy. She's his wife, and she's also a queen or a princess. In this comic, she loses that power, she loses her position as princess when her father disappears. There's kind of a co-op to take over the kingdom, and she's accused of all this stuff, so she has to go on the run. And her chambermaids take her, and they take her somewhere, and they take care of her. It's a really cool comic. John Carter, her husband, is in there. He's saying, "I'm going to save you," and she's like, "No, John, don't worry about it." And he's like, "No, it's not right." And it's a really cool comic, so if you have a chance, please check it out, read it. Last one for this week. Batman and Robin Eternal number 18. If you've been reading these, you know that in issue 17, 16, 15, and 14 maybe, I can't remember now. But we've come across this character called Mother. And Mother can kind of get into your brain and make you do things, make you recall horrible incidents. And in the last issue, Jason Todd overcame her brainwashing by just facing that issue. Because Jason Todd, say what you want about him, you didn't like him, you're glad he died, he came back to life. He's a bad dude. And he overcame his fears or whatever, and he let go of Mother's brainwashing, and he helped everyone else overcome it. In this issue, Batman, of course, because Batman's in this one still, he fights Mother. Mother dies. She gets cyanide and she kills herself. So we find that, gosh, I can't remember this guy's name. The bad guy that was fighting Batman in issue number 17 and 16, who they had been chasing since issue 15, he tells Roy Harper, the girl, that Cassidy was sent to kill her parents and only killed her mother. And so it's really, really, really sad. In the end, she's broke down crying. Everybody's wondering where she's at. And she's there crying with all this stuff going on. So I'm really looking forward to next week, issue 19. I try not to show a weekly comic as my highlight, but this is a really good issue. You really got to read it. It goes a lot into Harper's past, so please pick that up. All right, next week's comics. Let's look at them. There's a whole bunch of comics coming out next week. I'm not going to tell you every single one because there is a lot. Just want to encourage you to get out to your local comic shop, check them out. You can do Comixology, but really support your local comic book shops. All right, next week, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 2, which is a really cool story so far. All new Wolverine number 5. This is with X-23 being Wolverine, and they have another Wolverine clone, and they are trying to help her fight cancer or whatever that's in her brain. Batman number 49 is coming up, and Batman number 49 is going to be where Bruce Wayne finally takes back the mantle of Batman, going to the past, realizing he was Batman. Issue number 48, he came to that realization. So issue number 49, he's finally going to say, okay, not only was I this Bruce Wayne, I am the Batman. I got to come back to being Batman. So it's going to be really cool. Also a heads up, well, I'll tell you in the news part. Batman and Eternal number 19. Why did I tell you that? You know it's going to be weekly. Batman Superman number 29. Constantine the Hellblazer number 9. I've really been enjoying Constantine. Deadpool number 7. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big Deadpool fan, but everyone else is, so number 7's coming out next week. Yeah! Descender number 10. If you're a sci-fi fan, Descender's been a really good series. It's about a robot boy who they recalled all the robots because of a whole iRobot type deal where they try to take over. It's good. Read it. It's a really good series. Volume 1's available right now. Actually, Volume 2 is available right now as well. Dos Ex number 1, another robot taking over the world. Earth 2 Society number 9. Earth 2 Society has been a really good series. If you're tired of the norm, regular superheroes, Superman that you see, read Earth 2. It's going to say, oh man, who are all these people? Whole new set of characters to fall in love with as they die. G.I. Joe number 225 has been a really cool series. I don't know if you like G.I. Joe type stuff, but this has been a really good comic. People die in this series, and when people die, they don't come back. They're dead. And if you're not aware, Snake Eyes died a while back. You should know that, America. You should know that, the world. You should know that. All right. Also, Green Lantern's Corps Edge of Oblivion number 2. This is a 6-part series explaining to us exactly what happened to the Green Lantern Corps after the whole Convergence events and the Convergence series, where they all go. Why was Hal Jordan the only one left? So yeah, read that. It's only a 6-part series. It's really good. Guardians of the Galaxy number 5, which is, I like the new Guardians. Say what you will, I like Kitty Pryde being the new Star-Lord, and I like Thing being with them, fighting with them, and having Agent Venom and all that. Harley's Little Black Book number 2, which is always entertaining. I love Harley Quinn. You should too. Not the old Harley Quinn who's manipulated and used by the Joker. Please don't be that. Please don't think that Harley Quinn and Joker had this perfect relationship and you want your relationship to be like that, because it's bad for your health. Okay, just going to say that one time. So anyway, Harley's Little Black Book number 2 is coming out. It's a really cool series. Gem and the Holograms, Valentine's Day special, just because. It's not the movie, it's a comic based on the cartoon. It's really good. It's if you were disappointed and heartbroken by the movie, like I was, get the comic. It'll lift your spirits right back up. Miss Marvel number 4. It's been a really good series. I love Miss Marvel. New Suicide Squad number 17. Ninjak number 12, because I'm a big Valiant fan. Old Man Logan number 2. Red Hood Arsenal number 9. That's Jason Todd again with Roy Harper, the Arsenal dude. Silk number 4. Spider-Gwen number 5. And out of those two, if I had to choose only one, personally, this is my opinion. If I was going to choose only one comic to buy out of those two Spider Chicks, I'm going to go with Silk. Silk, and then also we have Spider-Man 2099, number 6 coming out. There's a lot of Spider people coming out. Also, Spider-Man Deadpool, issue number 2. This is a 4-part series, so we're halfway through. Spider-Man Deadpool, issue number 2. So this is going to reach all you Spider-Man fans and you Deadpool fans. Also, Starfire, number 9. You like Starfire, you're not happy about her new seductive look all the time. Why she gotta be doing all that? I don't know, I can't answer that. But I like who Starfire is. They're Not Like Us, number 11, which has been a really great book so far. It's been a really great series. Completely different turn on looking at people with powers. It's not a superhero book, it's a people with powers book. Totally Awesome Hulk, number 3. Some of you like it, some of you don't. It's hit or miss. I like it. I'm kind of biased, though. I own a comic book shop, kind of like everything. Ultimates number 4, Wonder Woman number 45. I like the way they gotten back on track with the whole mythology behind it. And finally, X-Files Season 11, number 7 is coming out next week. So there's a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out this Wednesday. Get to your local comic book shop, support them, support buying actual comic books. All right, so let's move on to the news, which there's not a lot of. For this week's news, there's not a lot going on. We just had the Super Bowl this past Sunday. The commercials weren't as great as they've been in the past. You had Ant-Man and Hulk, Mark Ruffalo-ish, dueling out for a mini Coke. You had some baby bear, koala, cat, mouse, dog thing. Yeah, you know, you had Krang, the Ninja Turtles. That was awesome. I'm looking forward to them having Krang. Raphael smashing into an airplane. Come on, man. His head would have went right through that, lost cabin pressure, and the plane would have blown up and wrecked. Anyway, so there was that. There was the Civil War trailer. There was I can't even remember what all trailers there were, but there were a number of trailers that came out. Yay. Go watch them if you haven't. They're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Also, here, what I want to talk about is for Batman number 50, Chris Daughtry. I could be saying it wrong. I don't listen to him that much. Chris Daughtry, the guy from American Idol. Did you know that he's also an artist? And he's going to be working on a variant cover for Batman number 50. So that's not this month. Next week is this month. So you have to wait till March for that one to come out. So it's going to be a really cool series. Check that one out. Also, moving on to The Walking Dead, the TV show. There was a Russian Fox affiliate that released a picture of Carl wearing a patch over his eye. And if you read the comics, you know what's coming up. If you saw the TV shows, you kind of know what's coming up on that finale at that last clip. You know what's coming up for Carl. He's going to get blasted in the eyeball. It's going to come right out. Boop, like that. So that's that week's news. Really wasn't a lot. What I do want to tell you, though, is if you are in the Seguin area, this Thursday for the Deadpool movie release, we are doing a special viewing at King Ranger Theater at 7 o'clock p.m. If you come, get your tickets from us, or get your tickets there at the King Ranger Theater, let them know that you want to see the Black Forest Comics viewing. We're going to be raffling off a number of Deadpool-related items. So get out there, check us out, check it out with us. We're going to be going to a coffee joint, Chupacabra Java, afterwards, kind of talking about it and doing stuff, hanging out, whatnot. So join us if you have a chance, and we'll see you later.